Okay, Jeremy, tell us.
What?
Well, Neil
How's
asked you
life?
what's going on. Yeah.
It's all bad. I'm just trying to be liberated. I'm just hoping for the best. At this point, I'm being denied medical attention. I can't go to the doctors. I can't go nowhere. I don't have my phone. I'm not allowed to be given food. I'm not allowed to have visits. I'm not allowed to go to work. My job asked me to come back, and they gave me a full-time position that started off at $50 an hour. Um, Liz was like, no, good jobs come for people that are good. You're not good. You lied to me. So as of right now, I had to notify CDCR because I'm still a ward of the state. CDCR said that they will step in because somebody's personal opinion about how I misled them does not oversee the rules and laws that a prisoner is being given. You just can't say just because somebody lied to you about going somewhere that you're going to strip them of everything. So that's kind of where I'm at. CDCR came down here today, and they went in there to talk to Liz about returning my at least my phone. So I'm supposed to go out there at 6 to 7 o'clock to find out the outcome of that meeting.
No, Liz Tracy? Yeah.
Do.
So far, I found Karen and Denny. Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
We're going to start in a minute officially, but I think that's it. We'll keep on going, I guess. I'll contact a few more people.
Jeremy, I missed the first part of your story and I'm super curious. I caught the CDCR and took your phone and I'm dealing with DOC on a regular basis. So if you don't
Yes,
mind
well,
repeating, I would love to hear the beginning of what you were saying.
I'm in a halfway house right now, but I am currently still under supervision of CDCR because I chose to come here and serve the remainder of my time in the
Mm.
halfway house instead of CDCR. I stayed out late. I end up coming home missing my curfew, but I did call and notify them to my parole officer that I was running late. I had no transportation to get back, and they said they were going to send somebody to get me. They didn't send somebody to get me for 3 hours, which made me late to my actual curfew. So when they came and sent somebody to me, they
That's
said,
Karen.
I missed my curfew. So they stripped me of everything. They stripped me of my job. They stripped me of visits. Nobody can since it's going on 2 months and some change right now. So I had to notify CDCR because since then I've had numerous doctor's appointments, like physical doctor's appointments and mental health doctor's appointments that I was being denied that I can't go. And that's what I was saying, where I was actually hired on full time at my job at $50 an hour. And the director here told me that, people who lie or people who come back late have nothing coming, and good jobs are for good people. So I had to some point reach out via email to CDCR and say, hey, this is how I'm being treated here. And they came to investigate and try to talk to her to let her know that typically when somebody comes back late, truancy or something of that nature, curfew, you're only supposed to house arrest them for 30 days, but they still supposed to go to work. They're still supposed to be able to have family members visit them. And all these things were stripped to me. And basically what they said was, since I complete the program in January, that I will stay in my room to January as of right now. And I'm hoping CDCR can change that because she said that she would she would lose her job before she sees me get a job and actually be able to go back out on the streets.
Yeah.
So it's
I'm
kind of
so
rough.
sorry.
Mhm.
You have
That
you
is,
have you have no job now? You have
No, I have no job, but I did start an online nursing class, so I am doing a CHW work. So I started that, and it's just I'm about to put in like 80 hours, and then I will actually go put in a certain amount of hours actually at Kaiser. So there's something, I have to, since I'm stuck here, I got to educate myself. I just can't sit around.
But you said they won't let you out, or they will?
No. But I leave in January. So by the time I complete my 80 something hours, I have to complete via Zoom meetings. It'll be like February. So I would actually be on the streets at that point, and then I can actually go to the hospital and I can take the test to see if I would qualify to continue my training as a registered nurse.
Where in California are you?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Jeremy,
Well-
do you have,
It seems like she's really being very harsh. I mean, do you have any insight or explanation into why someone in her position would be that way? Do you think, are there a lot of people who do lie to her, so she just doesn't trust, or just wondering what you speculate about that?
Oh no. It's I've been here with her the longest. I've been here close to 2 years with her, and we sat down, we ate, we cried together, and it was a whole lot. She cried over this whole situation right here because she said she put so much faith in me, and she never would have thought in a million years that I would come back late and violate my curfew. But I explained to her at 8 o'clock. I called and I was like, I have no ride and I'm stuck in Glendale. I have to get back to LA. And they said, "Oh, we'll send somebody." And it took them. They told me to stay place where I was at. Took them about 3 hours to come get me. So
What time?
at this,
What
it was like 11 by the time they came and got me. But
was
at
your
this
curfew time? What was your curfew time?
my curfew time was like 8, 9 o'clock. But what do you call it? It was like I called at like 8 o'clock and notified them that I had
Yeah,
no
I got it.
transportation. The buses would stop. And at this transitional house, they don't, even though I have my driver's license, they don't allow you to purchase a car or drive. So
Yeah, parole, yeah, halfway house is pretty awful, no question.
yeah,
The whole point is supposed to be a stair step to reentry where you actually are getting to do some of the things that they're now not letting you do. I mean, at least you're not in prison, but also WTF.
Well, let's, I think what we want to do, I put out like a little agenda for after, at the top of the hour, so we're going to stay on the top of the hour. So mainly, I'd like to hear from Rachel and I'd like to hear from Jeremy. Yeah, and if you have questions, I mean, we could introduce ourselves for 30 seconds if you want to know who you're speaking to, Rachel. If you'd like us to do that, we'd be glad to do that. Otherwise, you could jump in. You tell me.
I would love to do a quick round of intros.
Okay, so let's, Peg, can you do the timer for 30 seconds? No, and we're missing a bunch of people, but that's what's so.
It's that
Um,
time of year.
say it again.
I say it's that time of year.
Well, we also changed our website. We don't know. Just a few people actually. Okay, I'll start then. 30 seconds. Tell me when you're ready.
he's on.
Peg, you're mute if you're talking. You got a clock up or no? Your hand's raised, but
Yeah, I think she said time. Oh, there it is.
oh, there it is. Okay, I got to go fast. All right, so my name is Neil Abramson. I'm in Texas. I'm formerly from New York City. I did a program called the Team Management and Leadership Program out of Landmark. Out of that program, we created a project, and then out of meeting Judy, we started the idea of a conference, and then Mark took us the rest of the way. We had our first conference. I was incarcerated when I was 17, actually when I was 16, and I haven't been since. I have a master's degree in criminal justice and another master's degree. Thank you. I'll call on somebody. That's our practice. Okay, I'm going to call on Tracy.
How did I know? Thank you, Neil. Okay, I see the timer. 23 seconds. Tracy Hunt, Los Angeles. Committed to prison reform. By 2030, all people will be honored and recognized as family. And on Saturday, it was my birthday, and I got to stand on stage at the year-end vacation and share my promise with everyone there. Thank you. And I am currently recovering from the vacation. Yes, I'm Okay, and I'm excited to go to Pelican Bay with Judy and Tony in January. And that's it. Thank you.
For what program, Tracy? At Pelican?
Compassion Prison Project.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Denny.
Robert?
Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Denny Dorn. I'm in Dallas, Texas. I've never been incarcerated. I worked. I worked as a volunteer downtown, producing a program for homeless folks, an art program for 12 years. And I worked with a lot of folks that had done time, and got to know some of them pretty well. So when Neil asked me to participate in this, I said yes, and I've been here for over a year now. Welcome to everyone that's new here. It's really great to see you. Jeremy, I'm sorry to hear about what you're going through. I call him Sheldon. You betcha, Jeremy. Paul.
Hey, I'm Paul Sheldon. I'm in Medford, Oregon today at the Drop-In Center for Golden Rule Reentry. I'm a professional fundraising consultant and I help them raise the money to get this center. I'm also the treasurer for Planting Justice in Oakland, which provides jobs for formerly incarcerated people. And I'm really glad to be here, and I'm going to call on Peg because she has her hand up.
Hi, I'm Peg, and I've been with Options Recovery Services since '99, and they started the occupational mentor certification program. I still go in to the transitional house and talk to the men as they're coming out. And they're such an asset. They're working at 3 high schools in Oakland, juvenile delinquents. They're really committed to making a difference with the youth. So I adore being part of this group. Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Malwood. I'm from the East Coast. I met Neil through CGT last year working on a video. He inspired me to be able to act on something I've always wanted to act on but didn't know how to, which is prison reform. I've come to love these people and what they do. Karen.
There it is. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm Karen Johnson. I live in the San Antonio, Texas area. And I met Neil quite a while ago through Landmark. And we worked together on a PEP project seminar. And that's how I kind of got interested. My son has been incarcerated, so I was interested in juvenile detention, but that, you know, that's neither here nor there because it transfers right, you know, up to the regular one. So I just want to see some reform being done. Thank you.
Better call on someone, Karen. Call on.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Who hasn't gone? Judy.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm Judy Flattery.
I'm in Santa Barbara, California. President of the Humanist Society of Santa Barbara. We had an incarcerated member, and that's how I started getting curious about the whole realm. And I'm now a very active volunteer, both with Compassion Prison Project, Freedom to Choose Project. I put on a 2022 conference with the Southern California Secular Coalition. Then I was I led the speaker team for the conference we just put on November 23rd with this group. And
Time's up.
Kent or Jeremy? Jeremy, did
Judy,
you
you
want to
have more
introduce
time.
yourself?
I
What?
think. I think you have more time. That I don't know if that timer is accurate, but
It's 30 seconds.
It's pretty fast. And they got Mark too, remember?
Mark introduced himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's on me?
yeah, you want to introduce yourself? A little more about your
Okay,
background?
Jeremy Price. I am not formerly incarcerated. I am still incarcerated since 2005. So it's going on 20 years I've been incarcerated, soon to be coming home January 27th. I'm at a halfway house. As of on the 15th, I will be getting my AA in sociology, and then I will go on to Cal Poly Pomona, hopefully, to get my BA. The last 11 months, I was working as a case manager with the Inside Out Riders, dealing with children between the ages with a diversion program, 13 to 17. Now pending, fully hired at a grid alternative nonprofit solar panel installation. And since in my free time, I'm taking classes to try to become a registered nurse. Danny, quick question. When you said art housing, are you talking about in Los Angeles?
No, it was in Dallas, a place called The Bridge, in downtown Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay. We have a art housing here for
Yeah, I'm aware of it too. Yeah, I'm aware of that place.
Yeah.
The one I ran was a lot like that. We organized shows. We did all kinds of stuff. And COVID shut it down.
Okay. They have 3 out here, and I've been trying to because it's for people like, creative type of individuals. I was trying to get housed there once I leave this transition. I was like, are you in LA? I hope you're there.
Wish I was.
Yeah. Who was left?
Kent or Robert?
I think.
Kent.
30 seconds, Kent.
We are introducing ourselves. Kent McLaughlin
Yes.
from Spokane Valley, Washington. I was incarcerated for almost 4 years at Terminal Island Federal. I'm a registered sex offender, and I have to register for the rest of my life unless I get released from that, which is possible because I'm in Washington. We have levels, and I'm a level 1, so I don't even show up on the registry as a sex offender. So I am waiting to get released from my free trial, or from my supervised release. And that's about it.
Are you still in Spokane?
I am still in Spokane.
All right, cool. Got another Washington person on the call.
Yay.
Hi, family. Robert Thomas. I am coming to you all from Denver, Colorado. I got involved in bringing AA meetings into California and in Georgia State Prison and Georgia County prisons, bringing meetings in and being a part of this planning committee for having fabulous conferences that upgrade the conversation of what incarceration and rehabilitation has to provide. Thanks.
You're muted, Neil.
Let's keep people in time, even though let's give Rachel and Jeremy like 10 to 12 minutes. See if you need all that time. And just tell us what's so, and then we'll look at what questions we have or you have.
10 minutes.
All right, do 10.
You want 10
Yeah, 10 each. Uh-huh.
each? Yeah.
I expect y'all will have some questions after I get done.
Yeah.
So happy to answer those, and I can kick it off since Jeremy stepped away for a second. Rachel Check, my last name is pronounced check, like a check mark or a checkerboard, even though it does not look like that. I use she, her pronouns. I'm based in the Seattle area, but I used to be based in the Bay Area and did a lot of work at San Quentin and Pelican Bay and Soledad. And so I'm very familiar with the California system as well before I moved back to my home state of Washington 10 or 11 years ago now. And in 2018, my organization called Unincarcerated Productions, which I'm multimedia. I'm going to share my screen here in a minute. So if anybody has to give me screen sharing abilities, I'll ask for that now. But Unincarcerated Productions is the organization that my two co-founders founded in Work Release, actually, Jeremy. And I'll show you who those folks are when I do my screen share here in a minute. But I came in about a year after they started because I grew up next to the state penitentiary in a town called Walla Walla, Washington. And so my entire life, I literally grew up next to it. And, you know, every dinner conversation, because my dad taught there, every journalistic opportunity I had, because I thought I wanted to be a journalist back then. And it's been a full circle moment to now. I've done a lot of stories on, you know, the death penalty and people that unfortunately were put to death in my hometown and all of the craziness that happened around that. So that's been going on since, you know, I was in high school in the early 90s. So, and those seeds were planted early. And so later on, coming back into prisons in San Quentin and some other places in California, I realized that that's my life purpose, is to not only work toward prison reform, but programming inside. And that looks like a lot of different things, but primarily what Unincarcerated does is we create documentaries, we do video production, we're creating a prison podcast right now that'll be coming out soon. We also partner with mission-aligned organizations, whether it's, you know, municipalities, counties, states, Department of Corrections, as well as lots of reentry organizations to create content for what they do. And so, so we do a lot of great things, and I'm very happy to get to do this. Not happy, I'm very, very purpose driven, and I feel very aligned to my purpose. And this is the work I plan to do until I leave the planet this time around. And so I want to show you a couple of little pieces of things that we've done. But our bigger vision is we want to have a media lab in every single prison in the United States. And so what that looks like is teaching audio production, video production, music production, and helping people take their already creative skills and then, you know, their desire to tell their own stories in their own ways, and enabling them to do that and getting college credit for it, so that when they get out, they have a pipeline towards jobs, because it's one of the industries that doesn't discriminate as much as others. Plus, it's just really fun. And so I want people in prison to have more opportunities like that. Some of the classic reentry programming is great too, but we've reimagined and re-envisioned that and are doing a lot of cool stuff that is going to be on the tablets in the prisons in 44 states here pretty soon. So financial literacy curriculum featuring 100% justice impacted people as the on-air talent, stuff like that. So that's a little bit about what we do. Do I have the ability to share my screen here? Yes, perfect.
Hustle fan?
Huh? Hustle 2.0?
Are you an Ear Hustle fan?
Oh,
The
yeah,
podcast, Ear
every
Hustle.
episode multiple times. I want to be Nigel Poor.
And
It's not-
have you seen the country western line dance that's set to Walla Walla Prison?
No. What?
It's a great country western line dance to the song Walla Walla Prison.
You have got to find this and send it
All
to me.
right.
It's got to be on
Put your
there.
email in the chat.
I cannot
I'll-
believe
I'll
I don't
find
know
it.
about this.
It's
Okay.
totally cool.
For some reason, it's only giving me the option to share sound and not optimize for video. It's like, I don't know if that's an extra thing that somebody has to do, but
No, it shouldn't. It might be the new version. It automatically does it when it's video.
oh,
Is the
really?
button-
Okay. Oh, okay. That's probably what it is. We'll hope for the best here.
There you go.
I don't know why this. Okay,
See it.
you can see it?
Yeah.
All right. So this is our website. These are some little snippets of things that we've done. This is just to create the visual interest, of course. But our team is about 60% justice impacted, 40% allies and friends, myself included. I have not been incarcerated, but you know, I've been in the field, if you will, for a long time. And so really in the past year, I feel like everything has come together because it took us a while to kind of figure out all the pieces. You know, the funding is a big piece. Obviously, the pandemic shut down a lot of production. But I'll give you a little snippet of some of our work here. So we did a series called The Digital Divide a little while ago. I'm not sure if my computer's going a little slow today. I've got too much media going on, not surprisingly, but let me try and see if I can play this for you.
So in prison, technology is available, but mostly available for those who have shorter sentences and who are mostly in there for nonviolent crimes most of the time. So a person like me, I wasn't afforded the opportunity to have access to that all the way until about 2019. And then COVID hit. So really to me, a computer wasn't nothing but a fancy typewriter. And the only thing I got was Word. So I didn't never see the internet.
I think one of the things reentry does a big disservice to is not exposing people to internet. There's no way like you can prepare anybody that's inside of prison unless you give them access to those things and what it really looks like.
I was supposed to serve the rest of my life in prison, so they didn't want me around that kind of stuff. It was like a privilege, and that was money they wanted to invest in people who were going back into society.
It's such a different system. Having secured internet doesn't prepare you for the amount of information that you can get like at the drop of a dime on your phone or your laptop.
For me, one of the hardest things is people always say, you don't know how to do that? Even a little kid knows how to do that. That stops me in my tracks. And then I don't want to ask. It makes you uncomfortable, and then there's like a shame that goes to it.
You grew up in an environment understanding all of these things, but these are things that we have been kept from, and so for other folks it makes common sense, whereas for us it does not.
When I got out, I had no idea that I was going to need a phone. I was thinking, oh, pay phones. I'll just use a quarter. Oh, I won't need a computer because I can just go and fill out a job application at the place that I'm applying for. That's what rules the world now.
We're in a space right now where a lot of people are coming out that didn't expect to be coming out, and so they're not prepared. There are a lot of court decisions that have changed that recently. That's like dropping somebody off in another country and expecting them to know how to speak a whole nother language. Like technology is a whole nother language. It's a whole beast in and of itself. And there's no way that you can figure it out inside there.
So I apologize if that was a little choppy for anybody. My computer is overwhelmed right now. I'll just
Well,
put that.
we could understand. I could understand every word. Yeah.
All right, cool. And now it's stuck in spinny death mode. So frustrating. Okay. And then the other thing I was going to share with you, if it allows me to get out of here. Ugh. Sorry, y'all. Of course, none of this was happening until today. Thoughts, questions, just first reactions to this while I'm trying to get this other thing loaded?
It's really profound. I'm sitting here in Medford with the founder of Golden Rule Reentry, and one of the things she talks about a lot when she's not saying just because you have a past doesn't mean you don't deserve a future, is that one of the criteria for selecting people who to receive services at Golden Rule Reentry is we're looking for people who are coming out of prison and don't know how to use the cell phone. And you're just like spot on. Do you want to say anything more about that, Abby?
Not really. Good work though. Amazing film.
Thank you. Yeah, Paul, when you did your intro, I was like, we got to connect. There was a few things that you said that I was very interested to know more about. So
that'd be super.
I stopped sharing my screen because I'm trying to figure this out really quick. But the other piece that I would love to share with you all, and this is the thing that I'm working on very currently, is the prison podcast. So there was a book that came out in the 70s called Concrete Mama. And my business partner, Vic Chopra, who did his time at the prison in Walla Walla, we went back for him to speak at the graduation, the college graduation. And he started talking about how, we do podcasts and this and that. And one of the program managers came up afterwards and said, "Hey, would you help us start a prison podcast?" And it was all I could do not to bear hug this guy, who, by the way, I went to high school with. And I was like, full circle moment, because, this would not have been an option at all for the longest time, but for him to be asking me or us. So anyway, we started this journey back in April, and the podcast, we got permission to call it Concrete Mama from the author of the book. So we've been gathering recordings. They bought all the equipment. We're now doing video production as well. And that's going to be coming out in sometime Q1 next year, once everything gets approved and through the, chain of command. But I'm really excited about it. We have over 300 recordings already. We have so much content. We're spoiled for riches. And so I was going to show you a couple clips from stuff that we were putting together for this, and it's not out yet. So it's like hot off the press too. It's going to take me a minute because everything kind of shut down on me when I overwhelmed the system. So maybe we could go to Jeremy and I could show y'all at the end.
Or maybe Tony could introduce himself. He joined us since we introduced ourselves.
You got 30 seconds, Tony.
Hi, I'm Tony Villano. What's the topic I need to hit?
Who are you? Why are you here? 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. Tony Villano. I am passionate about restorative justice, and I just want to further it every place I can, and it works well in prisons too. That's about it.
And you're in what, Santa Cruz, California? Is that where you are?
Yeah.
More or less.
So Jeremy, you want to take it for, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Like what brought you back to the call? I miss you. You know that on a personal.
When I left the call, I was juggling 3 jobs and I was juggling college, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is a busy schedule, but I was getting it done. I maintained my honor status for a while. As of right now, wait a second. Let me see. I'm gonna tell my. Sorry about that. So yeah, I like the video that was shown because me doing that much time too, that is, electronics was a big barrier. Like I didn't know how to set up the 2-part verification. I was when I was looking for a job, I was falling for every scheme on Indeed, and I was giving these people like my Gmail, and I was like, why does my Gmail keep getting hacked? Like they don't tell you nothing about stuff like that in prison. So education as far as with phones was important to me because I never seen an iPhone before. And financial literacy. Now that I go home in January and I'm on Zillow and I'm looking for a place to stay, my budget is telling me that I can stay in a nicer area, but I don't have a credit score. So it's like nobody ever told me to establish a credit score. I didn't know about letting somebody use me as an authorized user. All these things came up right now that now I'm a month to the house and it's like, oh, you need a 700 credit score, 800. I don't have that. So now I'm looking in locations that's not so good that people are able to negotiate the credit score, but at the same time, these aren't the best of areas. So somebody coming home from prison and they're in a better position, you wouldn't want to put them in that position.
Are you going to be on parole or you're done?
No, I will be on parole, and they are implementing something in Los Angeles County now. Even though I'm on an ankle monitor now, serving the last 2 years of my sentence, when you go on parole and if you have a high risk case, they want you to do that year that you're on parole because they typically do a year to 3 years in California. They want you to do it with an ankle monitor on. So that was one of the things I was arguing about, that I just had this ankle monitor on for 2 years. Why do I have to put another ankle monitor on? So they're telling me I have like 4 to 6 hours after release, after they cut this one off, to go downtown to put another one on. So, but there are, depending on the parole officer, and if you have a job and if you have a place of residence, they will not put it on. But they say the minute you lose one of those things, they will have to put it on.
Hmm.
Those
When are
are,
you officially done? When you're out of
uh,
there?
so January 27th, I'll be leaving.
Soon.
Yeah, soon. So now I'm just, it's I'm trying to. The housing is kind of tough, because a lot of managers like, hey, could you come down and check out the apartment? But you like, no, I'm on house arrest, and it's like you really don't want to disclose that, because since I've done 20 years of incarceration, my record pulls up as nothing. Like in the state of California, they only go back to when they're renting your apartment 7 years. My case was over 20 years old, so it's like I don't want to willingly give up that information to a manager saying, hey, I'm locked up and I can't come look at the apartment. Could you just give me the apartment? And then we have people that scamming all day long, and they want to say, oh, okay, just wire us $1,000 and the apartment is yours. And I never been down there, don't even know if it's legit or not. So it's a lot of those factors that I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks I can get situated where, I know Christmas is a busy time, and I know it's the holidays, people are feeling a little bit less lenient. Maybe I can apply and, try to another forgiveness. I wrote multiple letters asking, may I at least go out and look for housing, secure housing.
Let me ask you a couple. I know Robert has a hand up. So let me just ask a question, then Robert could take. It's a little personal. Welcome, James. Now, I know this is a little personal. You can tell me to shut up. I'm fine with that.
It's okay.
Now, you still have that girlfriend? Do you have family at all? And not in California, the girlfriend or people outside to help you with this, or you need to be established because you need to be on the lease, right? So that's the issue, no matter what family you have.
As far as I'm no longer with my girlfriend,
Okay.
and my mother and my family stay in Oklahoma.
Oh, that's too far, right?
Hmm.
All
So
right.
then I would have to, typically in California, if you want to do an out of state agreement, you do that 6 months before your parole date. So that would have been something that I would have had to get on back June, or yeah.
I have some really good connects for you in LA, and I might be able to square you paid housing for a year. So
Don't get his hopes up, Rachel.
I'm very serious about this. I'm not bullshitting you.
But it's not. Jeremy got some money, but still that would help him.
Well,
So-
if it's not free, I still have really good connects for you in LA.
Yeah, you should connect.
And also Vic, my business partner, who's formerly incarcerated, had the same issue and moved to LA a year ago and figured it out. And I want to connect you two, so that at least you guys can talk on the phone or video conference before you get out, and he can tell you all the things that he went through and how he kind of sorted it out and figured it out. Because he got his own apartment in his own name.
Oh, okay.
Oh, very nice. Robert, you got something to say?
Yeah, I'm just present to this economic racket that's an adjunct to this prison industrial complex.
Sure.
Like and paying for all of that. For drunk, I think that might actually be valid. To have a machine in your car. But like, there's just so many things set up for everyone else to make money off of people's circumstances that I think is like, I just want to I don't know, call bullshit on. Because it's kind of like assessment fees, the reason why we're getting written up for so many tickets and shit, so the county can get that assessment fee, right? And this money making fee. So I really, Jeremy, I agree with you. It's like, what do you mean? I've been who else needs to monitor me? I totally get that. That's like a valid like consideration, and I would hold the space for you to keep on asking. Well, I hear that that's not possible, but if it were possible, what do I need to do? And then just keep taking those little actions to like have it all disappear and you get what you want. Even
Yeah,
though it's an impossibility.
yeah, and you're right. So typically people who leave from here, they tell them if you don't have a place to go, you can stay here for an additional 6 months. And if you stay here for additional 6 months, now you're under parole grant, you're under the state grant, and they go from, because California as of right now is paying like $200 a day for me to occupy this bed. But since I'm a parolee, now it's a whole nother, let's double that to $400 a day. So people stay here, they question it. I don't think you really want people to leave here with housing so they can stay. And they're like, no, that's not what it is. But they only give us 30 days. So 30 days before your release is the only time that you are allowed to go outside and look for housing. But when I look on roommate.com and stuff like that, I see people that's looking for housing for March. Like somebody that's ahead of the game is actually trying to find a place to stay a couple of months before their date. So, you know, that's another thing, because they don't want you to like say I found an apartment in November or I found an apartment right now in December. I would be violated if I was to rent that apartment out right now. Because they want you to, it has to be within the 30-day frame to rent it out.
Yeah. I think that's what Jakar was running up against too. Like once he got out, he was like, he was so grateful that he was getting, you know, off of whatever supervised release, but like opened up a whole new can of worms of like challenges that were there. So yeah, no, I get that. That's because that's why I ended up kind of homeless, you know, when I moved to LA as well. Because like, you know, getting off of being on unemployment, not having a job for 18 months, you know, not having first, last, and a security deposit, you know.
But there's ways. I know. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. But we don't want to put that out there. But I got it.
Yeah. No, like, but it sets it right. It's like I really am present to like, you know, how, you know, hey, I'm ready to move on, and like, you know, it's like this ball and chain still holding you, it's like the crabs trying to pull you back down.
Pull you back in.
Yeah, it's for real.
And that's what Jakar ended up staying for the additional. He didn't stay here housed where I'm housed. They have multiple other houses. So Jakar went to the next house because he didn't have nowhere to go. And then the next house was it was supposed to be a step down as far as restriction level, but he says it was higher in restriction level. And it was like, because transitional homes typically don't let you work. A lot of us get employment through LAX on graveyard shift, but transitional homes don't typically let you stay out past 10 o'clock at night. So you can't go work a graveyard job. So now somebody like me who came home and the first thing I did was pursue education, I had a leg up, because now I'm looking at multiple different fields where I just didn't try to look for one specific field. I was like, okay, but nobody told me these things. I was just out here just grabbing to see what jobs fit.
There's a lot there, Jeremy, that you could help us. You know, there's so many places to focus on where we can make a difference. But you know, we're a powerful group here. You were at the conference, so you saw what we did.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
And these are these people that you're looking at right now. We did it. You know, so it just shows you the power of what people can do, though. You know, but of course we need support. None of us could have done it alone. Couldn't have done it without Mark. Mark couldn't have done it without me. I couldn't have done it without Judy, Tracy. I mean, it goes down the line. James can't. Any case, let's come back, because we want to, if it's okay, because we do want to leave the last 30 minutes to talk about business, what's next. So let's come back to Rachel, because that is fascinating, Rachel, what you're doing. You know, right away, I want you on this team. You know,
Can I
'cause
ask, Jeremy, can you put your email address and phone number in the chat, please?
Okay, I don't have a phone as of right now, but I can still put my phone number in there because my phone bill is on auto.
yeah. So Rachel, I'd love to see some more what, you know, you're doing. And I'd like to know what your mission is, what your group's mission. I'm taking it you have a 501c3 or no? You're muted, Rachel.
We're actually a for-profit LLC. We chose
Okay.
that intentionally, but we have a fiscal sponsorship that we're under a 501c3 so that we can accept donations for our creative projects. And then we partner with reentry nonprofits and, like I was saying, municipalities and whatnot to do you know, various other projects in collaboration. And sometimes they get grant money that is what pays for it. So these are two hot off the press today social media reels. These are two of the podcast hosts that are going to be the main hosts when Concrete Mama comes out. And we're just starting to build a repository of our social media posts. So I just want to give you a little quick clip of each of these individuals.
About 2 weeks ago, I had a dream, and there was a door cracked in the corner. In the dream, I was saying, "Hey, hey, hey, hey! Don't close that door on me. I know what you people do. You try to leave us stuck right here. You're not about to leave me stuck here in this place. An institution is powerless against the power of your mind, man. I want to start the business, but I'm scared. I'm worried about what everybody thinks of me. Don't be stuck." Thank you.
So that's Damar, and this is his best friend, Anthony, who just got out.
Please put your hands together for my good friend, Anthony Covert.
12 days ago, I was liberated. I've been out 12 days. In these 12 days, I've got to see some things. You know, this journey I've been on wasn't an easy journey. Lost my identity, trying to figure out who I was. I had a system tell me who I was supposed to be. You know, these systems were designed to fail us. What they weren't ready for was people like me to figure out how to break it. You know, and there's a lot of other brothers that's up in there right now that's figured out how to break it. They just ain't got their chains cut off yet. There's a lot of people up in that prison, man, that got some power. So when I say there's people, where there's people, I want y'all to say there's power. You guys ready? Yeah. Where there's people, I gotta hear that again. Where there's people, these systems are steadily destroying us from the inside out. I'm here to say I'm out. I'm ready to break some shit.
So the first season is themed around the story of two best friends and cellies, one who got out and one who was remained behind. And the one who's still inside, Damar, is still married to his wife that he's been with for 21 years, and they're raising their 16-year-old son together. So we've got some incredibly powerful footage. Let's just give you a little sneak peek. But yeah, that's one of the projects that we're working on. And hopefully the plan is that this coming out, this project is going to lead to a pilot for us to be able to do this in all of the Washington State prisons. And we've already got two others that are kicking off in 2025 with us. So we've also been meeting with some folks down in California that have been doing great stuff at San Quentin, obviously Ear Hustle, but then the Media Lab out of there. So they've gotten involved in some of what we're doing up here. And they're the OGs. Like they're the original ones that, yeah.
Hey,
Denny.
Rachel, you're still screen sharing,
Oh,
so we can see your beautiful face.
oh, one other thing I wanted to show you. This is the not yet published page for the website.
Cool.
Very cool. Mm,
Oh, great. I love it.
yeah, very cool.
And then these are we're doing a whole series on the then and now journalism of the Concrete Mama days and the book when it came out. These are some of the photos that we've gotten permission to use. These were all from inside the prison when they used to let people wear plain clothes.
Wow. Those are awesome.
Beautiful.
How did you come to us, Rachel?
Mark
She and I did a seminar together.
Oh, great.
And she shared about what she does, and I just fell in love with her right then and there.
So, Rachel, I have a question. So you produced what you produced there already, which is rocking, and that's before Media Lab, right? What you're
Well,
calling
they
Media
kind of go together. So the media lab, what's that?
Won't your Media Lab vastly increase your ability to produce content on the inside?
Yes.
It's wow. It's like that's what's next. That's what's needed. That's it right there.
Well, that's what they're doing in San Quentin, right? With Ear Hustle, they're the Media Lab, but you know, only selected people can get into that, like that guy said, and I'm sure the prison has to control it because they don't want too much stuff going out. I know in Texas, I don't even know if they would let anybody do that because, well, they're starting to break down, but they have stories about, you know, if you're gang related, if they see what prison you're in, they don't want the people inside to know you're in there. I mean,
But Media Lab would have, you would train them like engineers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know, like professional
Storytellers,
audio guys. I got
music,
it.
artists, all of it.
That's 18.
The thing that we're really the winds of change moved in the right direction in one state, and that's Washington, because we have new leadership coming in. I don't know if y'all know this, but of all the blue states, it's the only state that went more blue in this election. And so our new governor, our new attorney general, our new head of Department of Corrections are all super innovative, out of the box thinkers. They want to do more programming. We already have the contract with the state DOC. And so it's going to be on like Donkey Kong, y'all. Like we'll have media labs in 3 prisons in 2025. And then we'll see. And one of them is a women's prison, which I'm especially excited about. And then the other one is Walla Walla, which people told me 5 years ago, you're never going to be able to do anything there because it's the San Quentin of Washington. You know, back in the day, it had that reputation, but things have changed and the reputation hasn't caught up. And so people are just like, oh, you can't do anything in Walla Walla. Like that's where, you know, all the prison riots have happened. And that's where the people were put to death when the death penalty was still around. And like, it's violent and dangerous. So, yes, Paul, definitely. But I would love if y'all are interested to invite either Anthony Covert, who you just saw speak, to come to this meeting at a future time.
You invite him. You invite him.
I will. Thank you.
Anybody, you can invite anybody you would like.
Okay, well, I'll bring
Yep.
people.
If on our website has an event page and it comes up on the calendar so they know exactly when it is and has the link.
Okay, I'll invite.
Usually the
And
second
once you're
Monday of the
registered,
month.
once you're registered, you don't have to register each time. It's just one-time registration.
Okay.
I want to ask a favor, even though I do want to start our meeting, but Aku, who's a special friend of mine, who's been incarcerated, I'd like him to hear. There was the first video you played. It was really short. Would people be okay if she played it again one more time?
Yeah.
Just so
sure.
Aku could kind of see what you're up to.
Yeah, and I just want to add something really quick because like we have the inmate firefighter program, and what just occurred to me out of this is, there's an NWCG qualification wildland fire group for PIOs, and so like public affairs specialist, public information officer on wildland fires. This could be a place that they could apply the additional training to, that then opens up a space, since they get a part of the fire crew and they support that. And for that program, we have a huge virtual program. So they, maybe it could be something, if they got trained up in that, it would be something that when you get out, there's plenty of public information and public affairs officer kind of jobs that maybe opens up there. I don't know, with that media training, besides just working in radio and television.
I agree.
And real quick, Judy, was that Tehachapi where we went that they had the media lab?
What I was trying to think, Tracy.
See, I'm thinking it was
Tehachapi.
I think it was Tehachapi that they just had a media lab and they do a Good Morning Tehachapi, like a morning news show. And they took us into the lab and they've got like the desk set up for the morning news show. And they kind of showed us some of their clips and some of their blooper reels. And it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Back when, back in the 90s, Rawway Prison actually had a TV studio in there that got built by CBS, and they used to film a bunch of 2020 segments there.
Very cool.
And our dear friend, who I will not say his name, closed it down.
Okay.
Hey, Neil,
Right.
rather than play something that others have already seen, I have a new one for you and that Oku could watch as well, if that would be okay.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So, Hayaku, cool hat. I had shared a clip before of my friend Eugene Youngblood here talking about digital literacy and digital access. This is something that we haven't even published yet. This is some initial footage of Eugene talking about financial literacy. And so we have a whole program coming out on the tablets in prison, and it's going to be in 44 states through a partnership with Adovo, which is an app on their tablets. I don't know why the few remaining states don't have Adovo, but whatever. We'll get them to at some point. But this is Eugene talking a little bit about financial literacy related stuff. So all of the programming is featuring on-air talent that's formerly incarcerated.
Yeah, if you could keep it under 5 minutes, because you do want to. Yeah, just a little.
In my life up until that point, the only way I was bombarded with all these different messages, be it from media, be it from the society, being it from school, being it from peers, whatever. I was bombarded with all these messages that I didn't count, that I wasn't important, that I didn't have value. And the things that I knew and the people I knew that had value all came to do with money and being able to have purchase power to buy things. So as a young person, I was caught up in this mindset that I thought if I had nice things, that people would think I was a good person, right? Like, cause that's how it had been instilled in me to believe that money meant that you were somebody. And so for me, that was the point of me going across the threshold of feeling like I just wanted to survive to now feeling like I wanted to matter. So now I sit before you, I'm 51 years old, and my life has been in a different kind of space the last few years. So if you put that in context with how I was as a young person, I know not only the value of money, but more importantly, I know my own value. Like you hear most people talk about, like you even hear the statement still today that money is the root of all evil. But the truth is, I think that your personal relationship with yourself and poor self-esteem and a poor self-image is the real true root of all evil. And so falling into that is when I had a poor self-esteem and I had dealing with those issues, I also had a lot of money issues. But at the time where over my maturity and I started to grasp my own value and understand, then I started to really have an understanding of the value of money as well. And what happened is then I knew I could think about things before making any rash decisions, especially where money was concerned. And I knew that I had to try to be more frugal than other folks because I knew that I didn't have the financial opportunities in front of me that some people did. So I knew the ones that I did have, I had to take advantage of and make sure that I used to the best of my ability to be able to survive and move forward. The best way to really describe the middle part of my youth would be to say, at a time in my life where I should have been in the 12th grade and the biggest, I don't know, thing on my mind should have been, who am I going to take to the prom? What am I going to wear to the prom? Instead, I found myself standing trial, right? I was ultimately convicted at the age of 18 and sentenced to a sentence of life without the possibility of parole. And in Washington, you know, that really means that you're going to be there for the rest of your life. So for an 18-year-old to have that, and then to have the concept of trying to understand that now you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison, was really daunting to me.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. I like the music stuff better, but the
This is rough
message,
cut. This is rough cut. I just wanted you to see something different.
the
There's
message.
no fades or transitions or any music put to it yet, but
Do we know who Patrice is?
Yes, Patricia
Hi, Patrice.
Larkin.
Yeah, hi.
He was on the year-end vacation with us.
Yes.
Hi,
Thank you.
Patrice.
Thank you for letting me join. I just got off a call with Joyce Pike, so now I'm here. Thank you.
Hey, can we give Patricia a couple minutes to say who she is and her connection to prison reform?
We also have Tara Williams, who I don't know who that is either.
Okay.
Sure.
I just
Yeah, well-
invited her. She has an amazing story.
Okay, well, we,
did
you know,
20
we're ending at the half an hour mark and, yeah, how about 2 minutes?
Sure, two is
Okay.
great.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I
Thank
live
you.
in Katona, New York. I'm working with a group called Unconditional Freedom, which brings the art of soul making into prisons to have a prisoner have the opportunity to experience a monastery in their time. And one of the groups that I work with is called Women Over Dinner, and it's an inquiry group where women are asked a question and the response is thank you. There's no crosstalk. And we just had one tonight because tonight in Taconic State Facility in New York, which is a medium security women's prison. It was the first prison in the country that is participating in Women Over Dinner. So we have 40 women volunteers go in to serve dinner, catered dinner to 90 incarcerated women. And they had the same questions that we, you know, thought of for ourselves. For example, you know, what would you do if you were unleashed, which would be free? And each person had a chance to speak, and the response was thank you. So I'm high from that experience tonight, and we have the next women dinner in prison will be in the only maximum security women's prison in New York in January.
Very
Thank
great.
you.
Very powerful.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll probably have some questions for you, but let's
Thank you.
let's maybe hear from Tara, and we also want to hear from Aku and James too. Just but you guys only get 30 minutes. Why don't you go first?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. Sorry. James, why don't you go?
Sorry. What?
Just a 30-second introduction. Like why you're here.
All right, James Roberts. I'm the treasurer for a group called Another Way to Go, which brings transformational training into prisons and halfway houses. And we've been a big supporter of P2P because we want to make connections. We're growing and we want to connect. So that's it. That's me. And I've been doing this for 20 years, I suppose, something like that.
You're mostly out of Massachusetts, right?
Pennsylvania.
We're originated in Pennsylvania. We're operating very heavily in Massachusetts. We've got a group in New Zealand. We've done this work in Jamaica, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, you name it. So,
And Patricia,
We gotta welcome Dana.
another
too.
way to go is you bought Landmarks Technology, correct,
Yeah,
James?
used to be called what?
the End Violence Project. It was the End Violence Project, and we used Landmark Technology in our original courses. We've since rewritten the courses, so we're not using their technology, but we are using sort of transformational thinking, leadership, integrity, power, that kind of stuff.
Okay. And then Dana, why don't you say who you are if you can?
Neil, let's find out who Tara is.
We know.
You know who she is.
Oh, sorry.
Let's give Tara, I don't mind sitting.
Just 30
I
seconds.
yield my time tonight.
I know you're yielding your time, but you got 30 seconds. Say how
No,
great you
I decline. I'm just
All
here
right.
to participate.
Okay. All right. Who else? Tara, then?
Tara gets 2 minutes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tara Williams. I'm formerly incarcerated female that was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole in California for a crime that I did not commit. I litigated my conviction for over 2 decades, and I was released under Senate Bill 1437 in 2019, right before COVID. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of this meeting today. And I'm multitasking, so next time I'll be a little bit more prepared.
Wait, how much time did you spend, Tara?
Over 2 decades.
What prison were you in?
Chowchilla Women's Facility in Chowchilla, California.
Yeah, Judy and I volunteered there last summer.
Okay, so I'm a legal advocate with women's prisoners for children, ARC, Anti-Recidivism Coalition, also a member of the Human Rights Watch.
Great, very great.
Welcome.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be.
Who invited you again? Tara?
Aku.
Aku. Wow, powerful people here. So with all this power, what would you like to do with it? What would you like to and Rachel is, wow, Rachel, you're just such a wow, it almost want to make me cry. Like the power, media is very powerful. You should have seen some of the other videos, Aku. I'm sorry. My brain sometimes doesn't click in to, I was texting people while we were listening and it's just a little slow, as Mark would attest, and other people, but I pick it up. Yeah, Rachel, wow.
I'll drop a link for you, Aku. You can watch the video we watched earlier and a whole bunch of other ones.
Yeah, and Patrice, what you're doing, wow. And Tara, I'm sorry. Wow, what people are doing. Like, so what's the difference we can make as a group? Like, we're called Prisons to Partnerships, but what would have you come back to us? We do this once, and I'll give Mark the floor in a minute. So, we do this once a month, where we invite everybody else. Mostly we're planning. There's pretty much, I think we got 80% of the planning team on this call, maybe 90. And we planned an awfully incredible, I meant to say amazing, but awfully incredible conference. We had 171 people show up. But how are we going to leverage that? How, like, we get fired up. I mean, Aku's fired up. But we got to take it out into the world. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to ask people to raise their hand and respond, if you would, to anything I said or anything else you want. And thank you, Rachel. And people can show up on the other Mondays. We do have to decide if we're going to take off on the 23rd and the 30th. So I do want to handle that. We stay on till the half an hour mark. but I just want to open the floor up to hear how we could leverage, how we could work together. Like Patrice, I wish, if we had the money, we could fly. I do want to ask you some questions, like who cooks the meals and all that, but let me just get a coup, and then maybe we could ask just people share whatever they want from what they've heard, what I said, what Patrice said, what Tara said. But coup, it's yours.
First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to everyone for being on here. This is truly inspiring, and it's motivating to me to see how many people care and really want to make some change. I am a heavy action orientated person. Look, I mean, meetings are cool, but I like to get to it and get things done. That's me in a nutshell. Like, I can have a great meeting in 8 minutes and then we just go and get to work. So what I see that's a benefit, and thank you so much for your vision, Neil. I think collaborating, like you said, prisons to partnerships. Rachel, I already text you. I've been involved in entertainment for over 35 years. I just was in a movie in 2021. So I've been on tour. I know a lot of things when it comes to that entertainment side. So I think if everybody, which we're already doing, just lends like our resources, as we continue to do, we're gonna see action happen, So that's where I'm at. I think we just need to say, if we can come together and there's checklists, things that are going on, we can communicate those, how we can provide support, get people involved. I know 2025, I'm going to be holding a lot of people's feet to the fire that I know. So I'm, especially a lot of celebrities I know. Because one thing I realized when I was locked up, there's not a lot of people involved in prison work. Which it blows my mind. And I'm talking like major organizations or churches and all these things. So I want to find out who's really about helping and making some change, and who's just talking, and who's just about look good. Because I'm going to put them on blast. For real, for real. So that's really where I'm at. So I'm excited about the opportunity for us to come together, collaborate, and execute and make some things happen with whatever resources that I can bring to the table, and individuals that I know to bring them to the table to talk about this. I'll be launching my podcast, Never Forgotten, in January. Well, I'll be asking individuals like yourselves to come on and talk, because we got to get more awareness involved. That's one of the key. Awareness and exposure is going to have an impact. So
Thank you. Got it. All right. Tracy has a hand up.
Aku, where are you located?
I'm located in Dallas.
Perfect. So tomorrow night in Los Angeles, we have an evening session of the Landmark Forum. The Landmark Forum completed this weekend in LA. And Aku, I am inviting you to do the Landmark Forum right now, in front of God and everyone. We can talk about that later. And
Okay.
Great. Here is my what I would say is just talk to strangers about prison. I was sitting in the jacuzzi in Mexico yesterday morning with two people, and I mentioned prison. Both of them, one of them had worked in a prison. The other one said, my dad owned a toy company. He started having the toys manufactured in prison, and that prison transformed from the inmates making the toys. I mean, that's amazing, right? So
Yeah.
I'm going to declare right now that I am sharing with as many people as possible what is available in prison.
Tracy, we got to get you a book and some media. I have a media company, y'all. Just so
All right,
y'all
let's
get
do
on.
And we have a platform. I mean, the idea from my standpoint is that we have a blog page, we have a resource section where I want to be able to have all sorts of different people, partners share have pages landing pages that take them. So like Rachel, we could take your podcast to that page. Aku, when you start producing your podcast, and
Nice.
and we'll, this meeting, this community gathering is a way for us all to network and get followers to come to a place to talk and learn about all the different things that are happening. I
Yeah.
want to see this. I'd love to see in the next, 12 months, this meeting be 50 people strong every month.
Oh, yeah.
And if
And I think
tomorrow
that's a
doesn't
realistic
work-
possible. I'm sorry, Robert?
and if tomorrow, and to tag on to Tracy's invitation, if tomorrow night doesn't work for you, in 45 minutes is my session 10, and there's an introduction to the Landmark Forum, and anyone can join me there too.
You're on mute, Aku.
Throw it in the chat. Let's get to it. I'm ready to. I'm about this life, man. Listen, prison changed me forever. It's forever changed me, and I know I went to prison for a specific reason. I'm targeting a specific demographic, people that are totally unaware about the whole prison. So even though I come from the projects, I grew up in poverty. I didn't deal with getting in trouble until I was 47 years old. So I have a totally different story. I lived on the golf course. I had money, traveled the world, and then I end up in prison. And I'm like, oh my gosh, wow, this is crazy. But the reality of that, there's a lot of people that have misconceptions, which I know. That we don't know what's going on. We think of prison, we think of the worst things, but a lot of good people end up there.
Sure. Well, let's give Ken and Dana a chance, and then we got to decide about. Well, we could decide next week too.
And
about the 20
Judy.
And Judy, yeah. Oh, go ahead, Ken. And thanks, Aku. I love your energy. You know that. Aku and I went to hear 30 guys celebrate getting off parole on Saturday. We went together.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to continue from where Mark was.
That's my brother from another mother now.
That's right.
He called me up in the morning. I was still relaxing. He said, man, you want to go to this event? I said, yeah, I ain't doing nothing. Let's go. And it was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, we're fortunate. All right, let Ken go. But yeah, we got a lot to say. Go ahead.
Just to decide, Aku, that's the Landmark Forum. It's amazing. I did it back in May, started back in May of '78. And it is the most amazing thing you will ever run into.
Yep.
So I just want to continue on from where Mark was speaking, that really what I see, one of the avenues that we need to follow is that we become the umbrella that brings other groups that are working in prisons in whatever area that they're going on, like groups that are working with families that are of the incarcerated, or groups that are anything that has to do with incarceration, that we could actually bring groups together so that and also at the same time, any person who's incarcerated could get hold of us and find out where they could, like a Golden Rule reentry, if you live in Oregon, that they could get there, or any other places. So we actually become the warehouse for all of the groups that are working for prison.
Powerful. I love it. Thank you, Ken. Dana, that's powerful.
Just like Kent's all in my business over here. So that's what I was gonna say. That we create a in prisons to partnership with our new fellows, create some type of fellowship. And I'll tell you, in creating the Black Worker Center, I hired a consultant. So I'm willing to share what I learned with Prisons to Partnership, on that dime that was already spent. But what would be awesome and what seems to work is to get with the groups like Rachel's group and James,
Patricia's
and find
group.
out who are there, find out a little criteria, a little background about what people, who would ideal volunteers be, who would ideal allies be. And then in the same vein as Kent, set up our partnership platform. And then you shoot us your blog posts, your videos, and we share as well and really build the channel and be, like you said, a warehouse for the services. So that's awesome. And then two things that I'm present to. I was just here to be a part because I just wanted to be with you guys. I have some things in my space I didn't clear, but I got cleared as soon as the shares started coming. So it's all good. And so I am very present, and thank you, Judy and Tracy. I have a different listening tonight, maybe, around being at Tehachapi and sharing what is created for the inmates in Tehachapi. That's where my mom retired from. And she was an administrator that created the programs, or she administered the programs that were trade schools back then. They had woodworking, dry cleaning, upholstery. And I'm going to take a picture of this desk that an inmate, they had carpentry. I have the desk that an inmate made for my mom in the 80s. And to hear about their media program and production being such a big part of my heart, you allowed me to hear a little bit of her legacy. And I want to thank you for that right now, because it means so much. And then she was the first Black woman to be in rank at that level in California Corrections. Also, I'm also present to something that's awesome as a result. I say as a result, because it is what we create in language, right? That as a result of us being a clearing for Prisons to Partnership, having invited all of these amazing people to our conference, I got 2 impacted workers at the Black Workers Center who are educators, they're PhDs, and one suffered violence and one suffered racial discrimination at our campus. So they came to me. They actually came to me to request that I meet with them about providing services for the Black Workers Center. But I was in that enrollment mode around the conference, and I was sharing about what I'm up to in the world. And they said, you know what, Miss Dana? Both of them, in a similar language, said this is a divine encounter. Both of them are going through something tremendous at work and didn't know that I can help them. So as of last week, we have filed grievances with the school board, and we've escalated it up all the way to Maxine Waters, because one of the programs was funded by her. And then another young lady in K through 12 was a victim of violence on the job. Come to find out, both of these PhD amazing lights in the world are both justice impacted. One's mom was a career crackhead, and these are her words, and the other one's mom's been in prison for 40 years. So we want to activate them around how amazing they are. And so listen with me that they'll be on this call.
Okay.
Will do. Thank you, Dana. and thank you. Yeah, we'll have them on this call. And Judy?
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to share that I was with Patrice and with Robert and with Tracy at the year-end vacation course in Puerto Vallarta last week. Just got home late last night, early this morning. But you know, my husband was in 2 different prisons over the last 4 days, and I kind of wish I had been there. I just wanted to share that I really wanted to be with him. One of the groups that spoke at the conference was Compassion Prison Project and Michael Todd. Well, my husband, Dave, went with the leader of Compassion Prison Project to Solano Prison, which Peg knows well. And they led to 230 men Thursday and Friday, the 2 of them. And in the middle of that, the warden, the acting warden, the associate warden, a bunch of the staff members came in, participated in that compassion trauma circle, and in the Shake It Off event afterwards, and shared with the men after that. And Dave said they were like right on target. And then the warden wants Compassion Prison Project to come in and work with the staff at that prison. And said it was just incredibly, incredibly powerful. And then he spent the next 2 days with Freedom to Choose. So he's, he's part of our team, and impacted over 350 people this weekend through those 4 days. So that's kind of like one thing that was going on. And on the way home, flying from Puerto Vallarta, I watched that old movie, Good Will Hunting. I recommend that you watch it again. With my perspective about, trauma and being trauma informed and the impact that has on young people and all of that, watch it again. It's really, really wonderful, powerful movie. And I did have a wonderful time at the year end. But even when I was at the year end, you know, stuff was happening that we were generating. So
Joyce,
thank you.
Joyce, I want Mark to have the word, but then I want Jeremy, if we could go over to have the last word. But go ahead, Mark. You want to say something to everybody? I know.
Oh, well, I started to say, but I just want everybody to remember to promote, send out emails about share this event today. Let's build our network. Let's build our team. And we'll start in January talking about next year's conference. And I'm glad you all made it here. And sorry for the last minute notice about the change of venue. I've been going through some stuff, as most of you know. But anyway, that's where we're at. We need to promote P2P.
Yeah. And we're going to keep meeting on, we may take off the 23rd and the 30th, since it's around Christmas and New Year's. We'll discuss that next time. But I want Jeremy to have the last word, unless someone else wants it. I mean, I did want to hear more from Patricia and ask her questions, but Jeremy, I want to just hear what you kind of getting from this call. And I don't think you ever met Aku, but Jeremy's out in California. He's doing time.
Yeah,
right?
I met Aku. He was Aku. He was at the big event. I did at the big event. Yeah, but we didn't get put in a room together.
Yeah. Are you going to be all right, Jeremy?
Yes, every day I'm still here. I'm still alive. You know, it's another battle. Every day
January-
is a battle, no matter what. It's
January-
around the corner.
Well, you know,
27th is around the corner. Yeah, Neil, and you know, I got Tracy always checking in on me, and like Judith said, I really like that movie Good Will Hunting. Like, yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. I was happy she brought that in while she said that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's good to see you. I hope you join us every Monday. And just Patrice, just thank you for what you do. I want to honor the time, but do you want to say a final word about your?
Yeah,
Your-
first of all, thank you for welcoming me. I feel very, very welcomed, and I am really so honored to be at this group. I love the umbrella idea because that's where I want to make connections too. And I guess the last thing I forgot to mention that the Women Over Dinner tonight in the prison was really supported by Topeka Sam, which some of you all may know her.
Say it again.
Topeka, Topeka SAM. She's actually in Wikipedia. And she is a previously incarcerated person who, when she came out, has since then has been working with the transition from coming out to, staying, to having support in housing, for example, when you first get out of prison and staying out. So
And she funded the dinner, so she
no, she supported it because she had the connection. She was in Danbury, Connecticut prison. She had the connection. I'm in Bedford, New York. So they're close. And she had connections to get the volunteers in to be able to serve 90 women in prison.
Wow, very powerful.
Yeah.
Well, we're a minute over. I know,
Thank
Mark,
you.
thank you. Mark and Tony are doing a rebroadcast. Just thank you, everybody.